Hi guys, Jenny back again with my Tradewind Scrappers mini album swap for January. This one's going to Miss Charlotte in Australia, and I'm making a 6x6 mini album using the French Wallpaper designer set from Collections. And this set contains only 12 sheets of the designer paper, so I've had to supplement from my stash, my other stash, to include in this album elsewhere. Just adhering the designer paper to the chipboard. And just cutting off the excess paper there, tidying it up. A good tip when applying your designer paper to your chipboard, and if you place it and it doesn't cover all the edges, then just sand it using a sanding block. Sand all the edges, and then take some ink and just colour all the edges so that it hides your little mistakes then. So I'm using chestnut pigment ink for the edges there. Now just using my Fiskars shape template to cut a circle out of some chipboard. And you'll see I still haven't perfected this cutting system there yet. Don't think I ever will. Now taking some gesso and applying it to the chipboard piece, just priming it and also painting around the edges of that circle. Taking the same cotton lace trim there. It's actually a crocheted edging piece, and I'm just cutting the pieces to size and adhering it to the page with using glossy accents. And using glossy accents in this way to adhere any trim helps, because it can stop the fraying of the edges of the trim. And just making sure that the surface is clear of all that glossy accents. You don't want to get it on the other side of your page. Now taking some gold Glimmer mist by Tattered Angels and spraying over the same trim, another piece of it, and I'm not a huge fan of the gold Glimmer mist used in this way, because it just looks like it's a dirty yellow colouring, so maybe I should have used the walnut gold instead. Anyway, just painting on some acrylic paint to the circle, and then putting it aside to dry. And now just grabbing a clear butterfly stamps from the Flora and Fauna Collections by Kaiser, and I'm going to stamp it on the circle using the Versamark, and then heat embossing it with some white Zing embossing powder. And now just applying some Versamark ink to the edges of that circle and putting on some gold embossing powder, and now just heat setting it. And I've just burnt myself there. I don't normally put the any object that I'm heat embossing on the craft mat and actually heat emboss it there, because it tends to get messy and sticky. So that's why I was holding it in my hand there. Now just going to apply some dimensionals to the bottom of that circle, because the top half should be free so that a photo or a tag can be slotted in underneath. And now taking some mini brads and putting, just joining the flowers together there. And then adhering them with glossy accents. And I find that a page, once you think it's complete, it's not. I tend to go back when I'm doing each page, and then I go through them all, and I think that maybe it needs a bit more. So I do that throughout this album, just adding bits and pieces later on down the track. Okay, so that's the flowers down. Just making sure that that last little one is attached firmly. Just checking it out to see how far the tags can be inserted. And now taking some rhinestones, and I think they're like a goldy brown, and just placing them between the two edge trims. And there I've just realised that I have not punched the holes for the binder rings, but realised that there is still time to do that. So now you'll see that I've actually punched the holes and set the eyelets before I continued any further. And now just putting some gold stickles around the outside edges of the larger flower there, and also around each of the brads in the centres of the flower, centre of the flowers. And also adding some icicle stickles to the bird to give it some extra dimension. And I also placed some rhinestones around the edge of the circle later on. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for part 2. Bye.